Hello everyone, Fanta here, you're watching Fantavision, and today I'm discussing something that you might think is old news, and that is E3 being canceled. That's right, everything left and right is being canceled. The NBA canceled, NCAA canceled. NFL is not going on right now, but if it was, it'd be canceled. There are so many, I think even NHL is getting canceled. GDC got canceled. Flights are getting canceled. Europe is canceled. China is canceled. Everyone's canceled. Everything. Let's discuss how this is going to affect E3 from now on, because like I said, E3 is canceled. There's a bigger implication here than I think people really understand, and that is the fact that, I mean, if you think about it, how many of these different companies have been pulling out of E3 every year? And how much of a mess has E3 become over the years? I mean, E3 it started out as an industry-only event, and it had everybody. It was the place to be. Then, recently, they started opening it to the general public, and after they did that, people just flooded in, and there were way too many people. And with that overabundance of people, with that overcrowded environment, a lot of people were not able to actually enjoy E3 like people used to be. That's just because there's too many damn people. It's crazy. If you've never been to E3, let's just say there's a good reason they canceled it, because it is wall-to-wall people and lines as far as the eye can see. And 90% of the games you will never get to play because of how many people there are. Another thing that we've been seeing with E3 are the major corporations pulling out. Now, Nintendo started this trend a long time ago when they started doing Nintendo Directs. Now, they did support the show by having their systems there and having game demos, but they did not have their conferences anymore. They were just doing a digital thing, which I'm sure saved them a ton of money. And honestly, I actually like the Nintendo Direct format more than the old show that they used to do. And that's because it doesn't have all that cringy crap, and they cut out a lot of the marketing talk and speak about how well they're doing and how many players they have, because we don't care. We just want to see games, and that's what the Nintendo Direct is. PlayStation has pulled out of E3. They are no longer doing conferences there, and they no longer even have a presence there, and they've instead, all they do now is this horrible PlayStation Direct thing. I don't remember what they call it. PlayStation Now? Something like that. It doesn't matter because it doesn't matter. And every single time it's been kind of a boring mess. They haven't really gotten it down as well as Nintendo. But we're not here criticizing all of the different directs and digital things. The fact of the matter is, this year they'll all be doing digital press conferences. Microsoft has already confirmed it. Sony's going to probably do it again. Nintendo definitely going to do it again, and Square Enix has said they're going to be doing a digital presentation as well. I'm sure every company would. It doesn't make any sense why they wouldn't. I'm sure we're going to see Ubisoft do one. I'm sure we're going to see our favorite Devolver Digital do another one. I'm sure they'll do a fake live performance again, or they'll mimic the Direct again. I don't know what they're going to do this year. They do a crazy show every year, and I love it, and I can't wait to see that again. But the thing is that once these companies go digital, they're going to get a taste of all of that savings. And they're going to realize that digital streaming is the new platform to have their conferences. So I have a feeling that this won't be the last E3. Well, last year's E3 won't be the last E3. But I feel like last year's E3 might be the last E3 with live press conferences. I feel like they're going to all go digital if they go well. There might be a couple companies that do a live one. We might see Xbox do a live one next year. But with how much money they're going to save, I mean, have you seen the stages? It's a pretty significant amount of money. I guarantee they're spending hundreds of thousands of dollars at these things. And with all that savings, they could put it towards something else, or, give the executives a bonus, because of course they could use another bonus. However, there is the argument that E3 overall could just end. Like, completely. And I could see this happening. Maybe companies will just start having an annual big digital event around the time that E3 used to be, or they'll all adapt the Nintendo Direct method and just throughout the year give us some updates on upcoming games. I feel like that's probably the best way to go, in my opinion. In fact, I would actually prefer that instead of having to wait all year to figure out what is going on in Microsoft's head and Sony's head. That'd be great, because Nintendo keeps us updated pretty regularly throughout the year, and we've kind of come to expect that by now. Whenever we don't get a Nintendo Direct for a while, people on Twitter just spam, when's the next Nintendo Direct? And everybody starts talking about a Nintendo Direct drought. So, if those other companies do go down that path, I feel like they're going to be doing the same regular type thing like Nintendo. Another reason why I think E3 could just be gone forever is because of that mess, like I said. There was too many people and not enough to do. PAX seems to be doing it correctly, even though a lot of people pulled out of that this year because of, again, this whole thing that's going on that I can't say because YouTube for some reason demonetizes it. I don't know why. It doesn't make any sense. But I feel like more smaller events are going to start popping up and take the place of E3. Or there'll be more bigger events that take the place of E3. Because honestly, the way E3's been run these past couple of years is just pointless. I mean, I went 2 years in a row, and after I did that, I was like, I don't ever want to do this again. I kind of had my fill, and I was done. I was tired of waiting in lines. I was tired of having to not only get there, it's just like you get there, it's just a mess. Literally everything you can think of is a mess. And not being able to play any of the games that you're there for, it just feels like you wasted your time. I mean, last time I went, I didn't get to play a single Nintendo game. The time before that, I got to play Breath of the Wild because it was the only game they had going, so it was a pretty quick, turnout with the line. I mean, it was a couple hours still, but it was a lot better than the year after, because the year after they let even more people in. They kept doing that. They kept increasing the number of people that were allowed in, and with that increased number of people, the less you actually got to do. So if they decided to cancel E3 outright and instead have more big shows like E3, it'd give more people chances to play these games. It'd give more people chances to just even see these new games. And because there's more chances, it would break up that giant amount of people into more manageable chunks. If you have them all throughout, the most populated areas in America, you'll be able to kind of alleviate those crazy lines that E3 has. And people actually have fun. They'll be allowed to enjoy and be excited for the things that are coming out. This would also help indie developers, because the thing about E3 is that when you're there, you only have so much time. And because the lines are so long, you're waiting them all day, and you've basically only been able to play 2 big AAA games. Whereas all the indie people are just shoved in little cubicles in the corner. Whereas if you had a bunch more events, indie developers would have more of a chance to show off their game to more people. And with indie games, word of mouth is king. AAA games, they have a giant budget. They've got millions of dollars to spend. But indie guys that are just a couple of people making a game, they live and die by the word and the internet. So let me know what you guys think in the comments, whether or not E3 is going to be canceled forever. If you guys think that E3 won't be canceled per se, but will definitely be in a limited form next year. I feel like this year's decision to cancel is going to have lasting changes for sure on all future shows. We're not going to see the same E3 that we know and love next year. I just don't think it's going to happen. I think digital is the future for this show. Thanks for watching, everyone. If you guys liked the video, please leave a like down below, subscribe for more content, and as always, have a fantastic day. See you guys. It is truly amazing to me just how much has been affected by this sickness going around. I mean, it is insane to me. It feels like I'm in a movie. I mean, I don't want to be in this movie anymore. I really don't like it. If we could just kind of cut to the credits where the happy ending happens and all the thing is gone. I can't even say any part of that word. I feel like it's just going to get flagged. When the sickness is cured and the credits roll, that's what I want to get to. I am sick and tired of... Is saying the word sick, is that going to get me demonetized? Good Lord. It's just crazy to me. I've never seen anything like this in my lifetime. I mean, even swine flu, which I knew a lot of people were infected with. They got sick with it like pretty bad, but it didn't seem like nearly as big of a thing as this. And it's not just the media going haywire and causing panic. This really is something kind of crazy. I mean, it's got novel in the name. This is a very novel thing and a different, a different meaning of the word novel than I'm sure what they mean. But it truly is a unique time we live in. It is going to be in the history books. So even though it's kind of a pain in the ass, it's also kind of interesting. I know that's kind of strange to think about, but stopping your own worry, stopping your own panic, and just kind of taking a step back and looking at the whole situation like, wow, like this is, thank God this isn't like the Ebola, like if this was like Ebola, we'd be screwed because of how much it has grown in such a small amount of time and how everybody here thought it was kind of a joke and now it's just like it'll be interesting to see what happens. And like I said in my video that I made quite a while ago now, I made that Tales from Retail video quite a while ago on how to survive the whole thing if you're still working retail. It's those masks don't do anything. It's airborne. Wash your hands. That's all I gotta say. Be safe.